everybody, welcome back to the Centaur Fragrance channel. Thank you so much for stopping by today. My name is Benjamin, and I do review fragrances, colognes, perfumes, and all things scent related. I love to help you find the best fragrances for the money, explore fragrances, learn about the notes and those little details, and have some fun. That's what we're here for today, and thank you so much for stopping by. If you find that you like my content, if I earned it, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and even share the video. So let's jump into this list today. These are top 5 fancy fragrances, date night fragrances that are a little bit more unique, that have a little bit more character. Now, I do want to give some quick honorable mentions. I know there are fantastic date night fragrances and old reliables you can go to. Dolce & Gabbana The One is a fantastic fragrance. Maybe it is the best all-around date fragrances, or date fragrance in general. It has a beautiful ginger, a beautiful cardamom kind of spiciness to it, has a little bit of an ambery feel. That fragrance will always do the job. It doesn't have the best performance, but honestly, with a date night, you don't need the best performance. So Dolce & Gabbana The One is fantastic. Another quick honorable mention is one that I don't think is getting enough love for how good it is. This is 1 Million Lucky in the silver bottle. Now you're getting a beautiful almond fragrance. It's very sweet. It does have a little bit of that heliotrope that goes very well. It's a beautiful, like a full-bodied floral that goes with the almond. But overall, it's just a sweet, kind of nut-like and almost flower-smelling, beautiful, sweet fragrance. So you got to check out 1 Million Lucky. I do think it's more for the younger crowd, but everybody can wear all of these fragrances. If you're a younger guy, you can definitely rock these fragrances if you're a little bit more sophisticated, if you want to dress up to the nines, or just be as fancy as possible. These are going to do you very well. Now, first off, I do want to say that I wanted to mention these 2 Alexandra fragrances, and I did pay for these with my own money, and I'm not promoted or encouraged to say any of these things. I brought these out for y'all because I think Black Tie Affair, the first one here, is a beautiful, remarkable date night fragrance. What I get out of this fragrance is kind of like a grown-up La Nuit de l'Homme. It has a little bit more leather. Yes, you can go for CH Privé, which is an amazing, designer kind of date night fragrance. But Black Tie Affair isn't as boozy. It's a little bit more serious. It has almost that full-bodied, almost like a little bit of an incense feel. Maybe it's all albanum, but it's really nice overall. It's really well balanced. None of the notes particularly jump out. It might be not the most exciting fragrance for the younger crowd because it's not as sweet. But this smells sophisticated, well put together. It's a very seductive fragrance, and it actually has good performance. So Black Tie Affair, I think, is one of the best Alexandra fragrances I've tried, and I think that Alexandra is worth your time checking them out. Supposedly, again, this is a clone of Tuxedo, supposedly. I don't think that this is particularly similar to Tuxedo. I think that this is its own fragrance. So check this one out if that sounds interesting to you. Again, you could go for something like CH Privé, but I really think that this is a winner. So the next one I wanted to share is none other than Hafez 1984. Now, if you haven't heard about this fragrance, this is, I believe, Hanny's own original creation that he wanted to celebrate for his company, I believe his name. And what you're getting out of this fragrance is something that is somewhat similar to Encre Noir El Extreme, but it's much more sweet. It's more well-rounded. It just has a little bit more of a modern, youthful appeal. Encre Noir, the El Extreme version, is a fantastic value for money, but it's still kind of hard to wear. It's still a difficult fragrance to wear, and this one just has some beautiful, a little bit of a fruity nuance, like dried fruit, a beautiful leatheriness. It has the booziness. It has a little bit of that dusty woodiness for you guys out there who really like woody fragrances. This is one of the best out there, one of the best values for money if you like a woody fragrance. And again, both of these are amazing date night fragrances. Black Tie Affair is seductive, kind of understated, kind of like if you're a brooding guy in the corner. This is a beautiful fragrance. It's going to set the mood. Hafez 1984 is just a guy who's himself. He always speaks his mind, and he doesn't care what other people think about him. And that's going to be really appealing to some of those ladies out there if you have that kind of confidence to wear this kind of fragrance. So, a beautiful fragrance, and I think it's only gotten better with time as I've let it sit, and I think maturate a little bit more. So, guys and gals, we're going to jump into some niche fragrances. I do like to help y'all save some money, and I just shared those two Alexandra fragrances with y'all. Those are about $60 a piece, depending on what size you get. But I wanted to share with y'all some niche fragrances that are more expensive, but they're fantastic for the date night, guys. You got to check these out. This is Fortitude by Robert Graham. Now, if you're a big niche head, if you're really into really interesting, deep, dark, complex fragrances, this is not the most interesting, I guess you could say, niche. But it's a really nice niche fragrance. It really is. It has an understated quality as well. You're getting a little bit more of that classic leather tobacco combo in this one. I do think it might have a little bit of honey, but this one isn't as sweet as some of the others. And it just has this quality behind it, almost regal. It's just like fancy but understated. If perhaps if you think of medieval times when the Duke or the King, perhaps he just wanted to dress up and go on the hunt and wear his leather coat. I think that this is perhaps what he would smell like. It smells like fancy tobacco. It smells refined. It smells a little bit like honey. It smells, it has a little bit almost of the touch of the animalic, but there's not much of it. It's not detectable, but you can tell there's a little bit of something to this fragrance. Something is a little bit different about this fragrance. I think Fortitude is amazing. Sometimes you can find Fortitude actually at a really good discount of a price. So check out Fortitude if that sounds interesting to you. I think it's a real winner of a fragrance. So the next one I have to share with y'all is none other than Carner Barcelona Rhema. And Rhema is a beautiful fragrance. It won my heart when I first tried this. I was blown away. Now, Rhema is much different than the other ones. This one is a little bit more of a floral spicy combination with a little bit of leather. I encourage y'all with all the things I mentioned. I don't like to go over the notes, and I like to include them here at the bottom so y'all can see them. But I'm just mentioning the main accords, and what you're getting is a floral spicy fragrance, and with a beautiful leather accord. I'm so happy that somebody out there created a fragrance like this, because so often with a floral spicy fragrance, they put in something like immortelle or nutmeg, or some kind of notes that almost become like a clay, a spicy, earthy vibe. And instead, they just made it like a very sophisticated, romantic, seductive, kind of airy and kind of floral, spicy leather. Now, guys, if you've always disliked floral fragrances, if you've always felt like you've disliked them because they're too flowery, or maybe you're macho and they're too feminine, I think that Rhema is definitely one that you can give a chance. I think that this one is very interesting and different, and is just a beautiful fragrance. It has its own different spiciness, a unique spiciness to it that none other fragrance has been able to mimic or duplicate. It's kind of its own thing. So definitely check out Rhema if you want something that's a little bit different. It's not uber niche. None of these fragrances are, because you got to be appealing to the ladies with these kinds of fragrances. Now, I bring out one of my holy grails, one of my favorite fragrances in my collection, one of the niche fragrances that I adore in the world of niche. And I don't say that lightly, because I've tried a lot of niche. A lot of them I don't think are worth the price, and a lot of them I just think are too hard to wear. I don't know if I would ever want a full bottle, even though they're nice to try and give a taste, or give a test. But this is Nichonne's Fan Your Flames. Yes, this is getting some hype and some love. I talked about it last year, and I was put onto this fragrance by Brooklyn Fragrance Lover. This fragrance deserves hype, and it deserves all the love in the world. I believe there was a lady reviewer out there who actually said that she disliked this fragrance, but it seemed like she was kind of talking about it, about wearing it for herself. Now, this fragrance can seem appealing to ladies if you're a confident lady out there, you perhaps could wear this fragrance, but I do think that this leans more on the masculine side. It draws ladies in because you get a lot of coconut. The main accord and the main feeling of this fragrance is a resinous, ambery coconut. But as this fragrance really is going to jump out to you, and if you ever get to try this beautiful, magnificent masterpiece of a fragrance, there's a lot of tobacco to this fragrance. There's almost like a spiciness to the fragrance in the opening, almost like something you could imagine with a habanero. Um, the fragrance does have a little bit of a spiciness overall to it, a very authentic spice, as well as again, of course, probably a little bit of cardamom, but the spiciness in this fragrance is quite different. Again, a resinous, ambery fragrance with a coconut body. It's not uber sweet. It is sweet. It is tantalizing. It is a modern fragrance. Um, I don't think that this is going to be for everybody, but I do think that it is sweet enough, and it does have a almost like a sticky nature enough that it's really going to draw people in. Every time I've worn this, the few times I have, it's drawn people in. This thing is like a magnet. It's beautiful, and it does get compliments. But you do have to have the personality for it. You do have to have the strength of character, because this thing is going to wear you if you don't wear it. This thing isn't a projection beast, but Fan Your Flames does have a massive amount of sillage. So when you walk past somebody, they are going to be able to notice this, and it's going to be like a stream of fragrance, like you're a jet. So there's a cloud behind you as you walk by. So it's a beautiful fragrance. Again, it's not for everybody, but I think it's a masterpiece. It's just wonderful. As it dries down, you get a little bit more of the smooth, almost like a Tonka vibe, and the amber does come out a little bit more. But really, on the top, that spiciness, that authentic, really spiciness, isn't for everybody. But I do think it's a masterpiece of a fragrance. Fan Your Flames is just think of fanning your flames. You're making that fire burn bigger and bigger, and it's going to be tender, and it's going to accelerate that mood and that passion. And again, I think that perhaps a mature man would like this best. If you're a younger man, there is no shame, and honestly, you should probably go for 1 Million by Paco Rabanne, the original, or you could go for the Lucky, but there's no reason why the original 1 Million should be so disliked or should be so put down, because it's a mass appealing fragrance. It has amazing performance. It gets compliments. It draws people's attention in. Yes, a lot of people, especially in the party scene and that young people scene in colleges in some areas, almost everybody was wearing it for a while, and it's a very loud fragrance, and perhaps it became obnoxious for some of y'all. I am not saying that this smells like 1 Million. I am just saying that fragrances like that should get love, and that is an alternative to all these fragrances. But I do think that if you're looking for something a little bit more interesting on a date night, if you do not want to risk whatsoever the possibility of your girl or your guy or whoever saying that you smelled like, their ex, if you don't want to take that risk, you go for one of these fragrances. There is a very small chance that they've ever smelled these, or especially that their ex ever wore one of these, unless they're a frag head like you, and you might be in trouble. But Fan Your Flames, I just think it's a masterpiece, and you got to check this fragrance out. I have other fragrances like Palo Santo, like Carnar Barcelona, and some other niche fragrances I'm going to be bringing out, and mentioning more niche, because honestly, I like my fall fragrances that are niche. I like the deep and complex, and I like those fragrances, and I hope that you do too. So thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that you like this content. I hope that this is fascinating, helpful content. Let me know what kind of fragrances you guys and everybody out there, you ladies, like to wear out there in the comment section below. Let me know what gets you the best attention, what gets you the best compliments or reactions, or maybe even success if you want to look at it that way. Did it get you any action? Let me know if these kinds of fragrances did. And again, if you're a younger guy, please don't be discouraged when you hear about fragrances like these, and you just want to go the simple route and you just want to be happy and wear a fragrance. Go for Dolce & Gabbana The One. Go for Paco Rabanne 1 Million Lucky or the original, and there are so many other wonderful fragrances out there for you to try. But again, I really think that these are fantastic, and I think they're definitely approved from me here at the Scented Dark Fragrance channel. So thank y'all so much for stopping by. If I earned it, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'm going to see y'all next time. Wear what you love. Let's get that conversation started in the comment section below, and I'll see you. Have a fantastic day. Have a fantastic week. We're going to make it great, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one, and bye.